I'm Dave from LA. I have a question for Professor Eric. I freaking love martial arts. It's my biggest passion my entire life. Over the last 9 months during this COVID period, because I'm always around with older family members, I haven't been able to train at all. And it's just making me so miserable. And it's spread in other parts of my life, into work, into personal relationships. What do you suggest I do? I know the Mugen Mindset has been very impactful for me. Love your 2 cents. Thank you so much.
That's a great point and a really great question. And that's something that a lot of us neglect, which is the fifth pillar of the Mugen Mindset. And that's that pillar that's about self. I neglected it for years. And so what I first highly suggest is don't forget that you always look every month at what you're contributing to the 5 pillars, right? So meaning what you're contributing to family, friends, what you're contributing to work, career, what you're contributing to spouse, what you're contributing to society, community, and what you're contributing to self. If you're missing one of those, in your case, you're probably missing self, it's going to affect all the other buckets, right? At least one of the other buckets. So if you think of these pillars as buckets, you're not filling up one bucket, so you're going to feel depleted in something else. So you might not be filling up your self bucket, and you're going to feel depleted in your spouse bucket. You're going to feel like the relationship's not going the way you want it, or you're feeling at work, you're drying out, and you're not having the same amount of energy for your work or for your career. So it's very, very important right away to address that point and know that you do need to refill the self bucket. Let's talk a little bit about how do you fill that up, right? So because of the pandemic, some people haven't been able to do things like training martial arts or doing some of the things that they love to do. So this is a great time in your life to start thinking about what type of thing can you affect in the self, which is the pillar that involves yourself, that you've always wanted to affect, okay? So we're talking a little bit about physical stuff that's also going to relate towards your mental capacity, and that is your martial arts training, you said. So if you're not allowed to train your martial arts right now, you're seeing some of your older family members, what type of activities have you always wanted to do your whole life that are physical right now, okay? And if you think about that right now, you probably have 5 activities that you could think of. I'll bet you in your life there's 5 activities. You could start naming them. You could start writing them down. What could be one? Oh, I've always wanted to surf. Okay, that's a single sport, single person. You could see if you're near the water, right? And you could easily start to accomplish that. Okay. 2, you might have thought, I've always wanted to ski or snowboard. Well, check. Is it wintertime? If it's wintertime, maybe you could start doing that on a monthly basis. Maybe you could start doing it on a weekly basis if you live close to that area. Let's think about if we don't have the water or the snow near us, right? How about running? Okay, running can be a great way of clearing your mind. It can be a great way to get your adrenaline going. So physically, you're going to feel a lot better. Okay, what if running's not really an option? It's really cold outside. Okay, how about getting a yoga mat and getting some online classes? You can start yoga. Yoga is incredible for your flexibility, for your body, for your heart, for your mind. And so this can start to clear up that 5th bucket we're talking about, which is self. Right? So there's all kinds of ways that you can do, but what I'd like you to do is write down 5 of them, okay? Once you've written down 5 of them, I want you to look at the paper, okay, and start to eliminate 2. Now, why do I say eliminate 2? Because you might have written down surfing over here, right? And you might have to eliminate that because you're like, man, I don't live near the water. Okay, cool. All right. Maybe you're by a lake and you've always wanted to wakeboard, and that was the 4th one. Well, you can keep that on your list. The reason to eliminate 2 is you want to not have too much on your plate this month when you're going to start to pick these apart, because you really need to start implementing. Okay, so let's say you put Pilates on it, and you can't go to a Pilates school because it's the pandemic, they're not open, right? And you don't have a Pilates machine. That would make sense. So you got to eliminate that one, right? Once you've whittled it down to those 3, okay, you pick the number 1 that you really wanted to accomplish. Let's say you say, man, I always wanted to do yoga. I really wanted to be able to do yoga my whole life. That's the one you start with. You write it down, and then you've got to go through your goal sheet and use the entire process that we use here in Mugen Mindset. But a long story short, you've got to write it down and stick to that this week to jump on that mat. Go to the store, buy the yoga mat, download the application for your yoga studio, or go to YouTube and start writing it in and get on your yoga class right away, okay? So hopefully that helps. And don't forget, you deserve more.